here.
Hey.
Oh my God, I've arrived. Hey.
Hello.
What's up?
Hey, sweetie.
How's it going?
Good. How you been?
You know what? I can't complain, all things considered. I am
Yeah.
super new to Zoom, so I have no idea how to see all of you at the same time. What do I do?
Are you on a laptop or a PC?
I am on my phone. My laptop is garbage.
Is there a speaker view? Is it an iPhone?
Yes, it's an iPhone.
Hands up if you know how to put everybody on view on an iPhone.
Sorry, I've only ever used Zoom one other time.
You have to wave to me because I can't see it.
Wait, I got it.
Oh, you got it?
I have everybody.
Okay.
Is there 4 of us? 1, 2, 3, 4?
No, there's a bunch more.
What?
You swipe
there's
side.
like pages and pages. Oh shit.
Yeah.
This is overwhelming. I am nervous. Okay.
You don't need to be oh, here's another one. You don't need to be nervous.
This
Just
is so
making it
crazy.
worse.
I'm gonna keep scrolling through everybody.
The good
Here I
news,
am.
Kryssie, is just going to be Scottie and I are the only two going to be asking you questions.
Okay, perfect. Help me keep track of everything.
Yeah, there was going to be a third one of us, but she's not feeling well and is not going to be able to make it. But we have her questions as well, so we'll be mixing them in.
All good. I'm just pumped to be here.
Yeah.
Well, it's lovely to meet you, Charlie.
Lovely to meet you
about
too.
You quite a bit. He's
Sorry,
always
I had to
been,
push things back.
Oh no, don't worry, it's fine. No, we work around everybody else. Don't worry. But yeah, no, he was. He's got all good things to say. Bless him.
That's good news. There are lots of bad things people could say. So
this is where she's like, "What have you said? You're in trouble, Charlie." So your friend's in trouble, actually. Do you know what he did to me last night?
What did he do to you last
Look at his face. Look at him laughing. He thinks he's funny.
Oh, I know I am.
Do you want to tell her, or do you want me to tell her?
You'll enjoy the story a lot more, I think. Go for it.
So it was kind of like a catfish moment, kind of. So he was like, "Oh, I've got this video for my birthday." It made me cry. He made me cry. That's how mean he is.
Okay. I'll let me tell the backstory here. So.
Oh.
Wow,
okay.
Charlie. Wow.
Okay. So I was very lucky. Around Christmas, a couple of friends of mine got me a belated birthday present, but a Christmas present. They got me a video off of Cameo of a birthday greeting from Jim Corneliuson, the anthem singer for the Chicago Blackhawks. So not only did he wish me a happy birthday, but he actually sang happy birthday for me too.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it was very, very cool to say the least. So Jessica, unfortunately, the one who could not be here with us for asking questions, she and I had a little talk, and we were having some brainstorming and whatnot. And after a little talking and whatnot, she and I got together with Scottie on a video call, and I wanted to show this video to Scottie. So we got together, went and I gave Scottie the link to go ahead and play the video. And Scottie clicks on the link to play the video. It says Charlie's birthday video. So she clicks on the link. Do we still have you, Kryssie? Okay.
I can hear you, but I lost you for a second. Okay, I think we're good.
Just making sure. So she starts playing the video. And as soon as the video starts playing, she realizes right away, she's looking at the video going, wait a minute, that's Justin Long, one of her favorite actors. Wait a minute. He just said my name. He just said my name. Oh my God, he just said my name. And about 7 seconds after that, Scottie is now bawling her eyes out.
Rightfully so. He's really dreamy. I also love Justin Long. I'm right there with you.
Yep. So what Jessica and I had done is she and I had gone ahead and gotten a Cameo video, written a little script, sent it to Justin, and got her a happy birthday greeting from Justin for her.
That's so sweet.
Surprised her by making her think she was going to be seeing my Cameo video for my birthday Christmas present, and we surprised her with that.
Yeah, I've still not seen
sneaky.
it. It is sneaky, isn't it? But the thing is, Jess is sat there with her computer up, and she's got her phone recording my reaction. So I'm doing ugly cry. So I was like, great, awesome. like
You know what though? The ugly cry is a genuine reaction, and that's something that you're gonna want to look at someday. You might not want other people to see it, but you're gonna want that memory.
Definitely. It was so sweet. I was like, whoa!
I can
Lost
only
my-
imagine. I would react probably the same way.
He's adorable. He's so
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah, it's a problem. Nobody should be that attractive. I love him.
Oh no, he's fit. He's a cutie. So yeah. So we've just been gassing, just
That's
chatting
awesome.
away. We've not even done an intro yet. Like hello. So hello, welcome to our chat. Anyway, not that it doesn't matter anyway, but we'll just keep going. How are you doing? Are you doing okay? Because I don't think I asked you, did I? Properly. I heard it was snowing where you were.
You know what? Honestly, the drive home wasn't all that bad, and
Not bad.
you know, my boss let me go early because I was like, I have very important stuff to do today. So, here we are.
Or you're gonna be so underwhelmed. we just have to
I'm
hear.
literally wearing my pajamas, so we're all just gonna be really comfortable with each other.
Oh, I should have done that. I was out today. I should have put my pajama bottoms on. Nobody knows. It's great. It's like, unless they go, show me what you're wearing. You're like, no.
Oh yeah, no, that won't be happening.
So I'm going to pass over to Charles. He's got your first lot of questions, and then I'll do the second lot.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Charles, it's up to you.
I'll do my best. So what we're going to do is just chat about the background. So as we've talked about before, obviously, Kryssie and I have had the pleasure of knowing each other for quite some time here. I don't even really remember, to be honest, what year we met. I'm guessing it's in the 15, 17 year range, somewhere out there.
2003 or 2004.
Yeah.
It was a while ago.
Yeah. So Kryssie and I had the pleasure at meeting at College of DuPage in the theater program there. Kryssie was an actress there, and I was doing crew of some sort. What was your first show there? Do you remember?
Oh man, my first show at COD. I think it was True Confessions of the Wolf.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, that was, yeah, I think that's the first one I did. I auditioned a bunch, but that was the first one I landed.
Okay. So you were working on one of the summer shows outside. I was probably working on one of the shows inside with probably COD's professional troupe, Buffalo Theater Ensemble or something, most likely. Incidentally, if anyone is ever in the Chicago area and the world gets back to normal, if you have a chance to ever see theater, the shows at COD are always world class. We would definitely both, I think I'm safely speaking for Kryssie here, if you get the chance, see the shows there. They are phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Connie Kennedy Howard, who runs the theater program there, Amelia Barrett, Kurt Nabig, Robert Bailey, John Gant, Michael Moon, Galen Ramsey, Allie, whoever else is still there that I don't remember names to anymore. I'm just drawing blanks on offhand. Yeah, the theater program at College of DuPage is fantastic. So I definitely wanted to give them a plug at the very least. So
it warms my heart that many of them are still there. I
agree.
That's a huge testament to how well everything is going over there and how great it's been for so long.
Yeah. Yeah. And even with COVID, they've still been doing several shows online. They did Christmas Carol online. They've done several others. They're doing online readings and whatnot for Buffalo Theater Ensemble, their resident professional troupe. It's a great place there. Of all the different shows that you did there, what would you say was probably your favorite?
Ooh, that's a tough call. There are definitely a few that stand out for me. I think my personal favorite was probably A Midsummer Night's Dream, just because as a huge Shakespeare nerd, my entire high school career, that was a big dream for me to land. I mean, I played Titania, which was insane for me at the time. To get a lead like that was one of the experiences that actually made me want to quit college and pursue performing. So, my mother's probably not happy about that, but I think that was probably my favorite experience. Do you remember what you said to me after that show, Charlie, when you saw it?
I don't actually.
You came up to me afterwards and you were laughing and you said, I want you to know that the woman behind me was very offended by your cleavage.
I do remember that.
Because I had to wear a corset that nobody could breathe in. My boobs were up to my nose. Like, it was not super comfortable, and it was hot and it was outdoor. But yeah, that was what you said to me. And that's what stuck with me. Anytime I see a photo from that show, I'm like, that poor woman probably like went home that night wrote to her local senator and alderman and shit and was like, why is this girl got so many boobs out here? I don't know. I loved that show though, but really, honestly, I didn't have a bad experience at all. If I could quit my job tomorrow and if I won the lottery, I would do college theater for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
That sounds like jealousy to me, to be honest.
To be fair, they were pretty offensive.
And that woman, now that I do remember that, yeah, she had nothing. So yes, it was definitely jealousy. Yeah. Yeah. It was your very steep stereotypical blue hair crowd. She was 312 years old. Yeah, she had nothing anyway. Yeah.
It was a good time though. It was a very good
absolutely.
time.
Yes. Once you reminded me, I completely remember that conversation now. Yes. What about your all-time favorite show you saw there though? Because obviously there were other shows that you just simply saw, I'm presuming.
Oh man. I mean, a lot of the Buffalo Theater Ensemble shows were just phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
Man, there was one. What was it? Lost in Yonkers? Was that what I saw? There was one where Amelia Barrett literally had me sobbing, and I don't cry for anything. And I want to say it was Lost in Yonkers, but she was just absolutely breathtaking in that show. And that was probably the best professional one that I had seen.
Okay.
As far as student productions go, probably Alabama Rain was phenomenal. Everybody in that cast was so good, and I was so bitter because I wanted to be in that show so bad, and there were only 4 parts. It was the ladies that got cast in it were absolutely wonderful, and you know, the part of me that really wanted to do it was super pissed until I saw it, and then I was like, okay, they belong here. I don't. You're fine.
Yeah. No, there were so many just phenomenal productions. They never had a bad show.
Oh no,
really
not at
never
all.
Was. Yeah. I was so lucky to be involved in so many productions. I mean, I was only on stage 3 times myself there, but
you were my favorite part of Mere Mortals.
Well, thank you. Yeah, very, very minor part, but it was fun. I was on College of DuPage has 3 different stages. They've got their main stage that seats 700-800 people. They've got their Theater 2, which has got about roughly 200 seats. And then they've got their little black box, which is 70, 80, something like that. And my goal was to eventually do 1 show in each. And I wanted to do 1 Shakespearean show for sure. Nobody, I believe, is in a theater right now, correct? Okay, then I can safely say the Shakespearean show I did a production of, you know what, I wouldn't jinx anything. I did the Scottish play.
You were in the Scottish play?
I was in the Scottish play. I was Elder Seward.
I didn't
that was
come one of the first shows I saw there.
I didn't come on till Act 5. I had 20 lines the entire time, but I did the Scottish play. So you know what? Okay, good for me. I was happy about that.
You know what? I think that was right at the beginning of my college career, so I don't even think I knew you yet.
Okay.
You were just this enigma I'd never met.
Oh God, okay. That's frightening. So yeah. But yeah, no, it was, yeah, the theater program was fantastic. But obviously you were able to utilize your acting skills in many, many ways. You know that I have to ask you about Eds.
I was totally prepared for it. My life is an open book.
Yep.
You know, when you're a quote unquote public figure, everybody knows everything about you. So
yes, and I'm guessing the vast majority of people who are either on this call or now watching this video have probably seen the video of Cherry.
Oh, yeah.
We'll go ahead and find a link and add a link to Cherry for this video when we actually post it. Feel free to talk about the Cherry video and some of your experiences. And I know you've been interviewed on like what, WGN for this before?
Yeah, I did WGN, I did WCIU. I've done a couple like radio spots and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean,
so first off, tell us about the video.
The video itself was just another day at work for me. That particular job required you to act like that. I think that's the big misconception about the whole video, is that not everyone understands that Ed DeBevick's was a theme restaurant, and it was meant to be like a whole immersive experience where your servers are these like gum snapping, wisecracking 50s angry housewives, basically. I mean, we had several male servers too who were arguably funnier than all of us, but it was really just it was basically an acting exercise all day, every day, but you were also waiting tables. It was the most fun job I've ever had. I worked there for almost 12 years, and it was just another day at work for me. I had people film me all the time. So I didn't really think much of it when, you know, this little old lady holds up her phone while I'm taking their order. That happened to me on a daily basis. So it was nothing super crazy. And then it snowballed from there, but I was just doing my job. That's it.
And then every once in a while, like it seems like every 9 months to once a year, all of a sudden the video will just literally go viral again. And within 2-3 weeks, it hits several 100,000 views, and you're getting death threats almost.
For a long time I was, yeah. Thankfully not much anymore. The lady who took the video is a very, very nice older woman, but she sold it to a production company without my permission, didn't say a word to me. So she licensed it out to Juke and Media, and they'll re-release it here and there. And I don't know if she got money right up front or if she's getting royalties off it or whatever, but I get exactly nothing from it. And
other than hell, basically.
Exactly. Other than the crazy people that want to light up my inbox telling me all the different ways I should kill myself because I was rude to a family in a restaurant where it was my job to be rude to families in restaurants. So people are crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, clearly. It's
It's
not that bad though to get a death threat.
That's what kills me is that I watched the first time I saw that video. I got tagged in it. I was on my way to the gym, actually. It was like 10 o'clock in the morning. It was a Saturday. Saturday was my deadlift and hamstrings day. So I knew I was going to be in the gym for a long time. And I had seen that video when I was waiting in the parking lot for my lifting partner to get there. And I dismissed the tag in the video. I was like, this isn't even some of my best work. Like, this isn't really all that funny. And I didn't allow the tag on my profile, and I, forgot all about it. I went and did deadlifts and hamstrings and had lunch with my best friend. And 4 hours later, it had 500,000 views. And I was like, oh no, of all of the things from here, why this one? And, not to mention it was filmed from like up my nose. So it's not the most pleasant angle on anyone. And I really didn't think it was that big of a deal. I had said and done way worse things to people there. And that just happened to be what stuck. And, there will be an iPad playing that video on my tombstone when I die. So that's my legacy. Never mind any of the art that I've put out. We're going to leave that there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but beggars can't be choosers. And it's cool to have the notoriety such as it is, even if it comes with the crazy. But
yeah.
I've had the sheer pleasure of telling several people over the years about Evil Engine, and like, oh yeah, it's a great band. They've got fantastic music and whatnot. And I'm like, and you probably actually know who the lead vocalist is. So they're like, what do you mean I know who the lead vocalist is? And I start describing their video. They're like, holy shit, yeah, I know who that is.
Mm-hmm.
That right there, she's the lead vocalist. Oh, I gotta check him out now. Fantastic, yeah, no, and then you know exactly who it is. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, he's closed, but now you're working at Kuma's Corner up in Schaumburg?
Correct. Yeah, that is the second best job I've ever had.
Yep. Tell us about Kuma's.
Well, it is a heavy metal burger bar. So all of our burgers are named after heavy metal bands. All of the, we play our music super, super loud. It's all metal, thrash. Sometimes there's like a bit of hardcore and punk in there, depending on who makes the playlist. But it's a fast paced, it's a craft beer bar. So we've got normally, COVID notwithstanding, we usually have 32 taps going at all times. And it's been a really cool experience to learn all these new beers and stuff. When I started working there, I was like, I like stouts. I don't know anything else. And now I've learned so much about beer and alcohol working there. It's made me a much more well-rounded salesperson. And the people that come in there are so much fun. it's a completely different animal from working at Ed's. Ed's was a diner, so it was like a family oriented kind of place. Almost every table I had back then had a high chair, and nothing against children, but it's a completely different beast waiting tables in a craft beer bar, and it's so much fun. And I'm arguably a bigger asshole there than I was when I was at Ed's, but you just got to play to your audience. So.
And I've been there a couple of times. Those burgers are massive. You are not going to leave there hungry. You can see me from the video. I'm not a small man. I can barely finish the burgers there 9 times out of 10. The food there is fantastic. They are enormous. They are delicious. And I do believe Evil Engine has their own burger there, yes?
We did, yes.
Okay.
Kuma's does a burger of the month every single month, and they will sometimes work with the bands that they're named after to come up with recipes together. When we did the Evil Engine burger, I was just sitting at the bar one day and I finished my shift. I was having my shift drink, and the bartender at the time, she's an absolutely brilliant mind when it comes to culinary anything, and she and I were talking and mentioned this idea for a burger that I had, and she mentioned an idea for a burger that she was kicking around, and we kind of both had the light bulb at the same time, and we were like, oh, we should combine our ideas and we should do this. So we pitched it to management. I think she pitched it to management. It's been so long now. It's probably like 3-4 years ago now. But it was one of our most popular burgers, and people ask me about it all the time. We brought it back for one day right after Evil Engine signed to the record label that we were on for a little bit, and it sold out by like 6 p.m. in that one day. People came from all over to get that burger one last time. So that's a little feather in my cap, I think.
It is I went ahead and got the specs. It is a 10-ounce beef patty or choice of protein, peanut butter, spiced rum infused with bacon and onion jam, homemade potato chips, dulce de leche drizzle, topped with toasted marshmallows.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about sounding decadent and delicious.
The best reaction I've ever gotten to this burger was when we first tried it. We went over to that bartender's place and we were troubleshooting the recipe, and she made us a round of Evil Engine burgers, and everybody took their first bite and we were all just silent at the table. And my drummer at the time, Colin, who I always used to call him our silent Bob, because Colin doesn't speak much, but whenever he speaks up, it's always fucking brilliant. And he just kind of sat there, finished chewing, swallowed, and looked up and goes, "This is a sometimes food." And that pretty much sums it up. Like, you could not eat that burger every day, but like if you plan for it, pretty serious business. I would absolutely eat one again. I hope they bring it back.
Yeah, I would definitely love to. I never had the chance to have it, unfortunately, but I would love to. Yeah.
That makes me so sad. Well, you know what you got to do? You got to go on Kuma's social media and tell them you want the Evil Engine burger. They are very good at listening to what everyone has to say about stuff like that. So.
I will definitely swing by there then, no question.
Yay.
Yeah.
It sounds beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
I've just got a message going, somebody's just had a food gasm. I was sat there going, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking rude to me.
Yeah. And
we're okay.
And to parlay that then into one other thing for acting is you were also on one of CBS All Access's first shows, correct?
Mm-hmm. I was.
Yeah, CBS All Access, before they really became a thing, one of their first shows was they had a season of Big Brother, and you were on it.
Yes, sir. I was. What an experience that was.
Yeah.
Now that I'm so far removed from it, I'm very, very grateful to have done it. I was grateful at the time too, but that particular experience really screwed with me psychologically. I have always been very honest about, I live with anxiety and depression, and I choose to be unmedicated for them. It's a risky move. I am not always in the best of spirits, but I prefer to at least know what's going on in my head versus just being a zombie. I haven't found anything that really works for me in terms of medication. I'm not advocating against it. I think it's wonderful for people who can and I envy people who can. But it's just, it hasn't been for me thus far. And that being said, being involved in a reality show like Big Brother that is designed to push you to your psychological brink, it was maybe not the best move for me to make in 2016 when I went, but I'm absolutely grateful for being given the opportunity. Like I said, now that I've got so much time to be removed from it, looking back on it, there are lifelong friends that I met on that show that I never would have crossed paths with otherwise. And a lot of people didn't like me on the show because they expected Cherry, the waitress, and they expected, that side of my personality with the quick comebacks and what have you, which that part of me is absolutely there and visible on the show. But I don't think anybody expected me to be a living, breathing girl at the same time. And I cried a lot when I was there, and I don't cry. And that place screwed with my head so bad. And I wouldn't change it. I would absolutely do the show again at this point, now that I'm in a better headspace. But it was scary for a while. I didn't think I'd make it to the end, but I made it all the way to the end of the show, and I placed third, which equals no prize money, but wonderful experience.
Third is still nothing to sneeze at, that's for damn sure. So yeah.
I couldn't believe I made it past the first week. I was up for elimination like 8 out of the 10 weeks or something. So hooray.
Very cool.
At the end, it became more of like, I'm just going to see how long I could stick around while all these other people who are like fan favorites go home. That became fun for me.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah. So I do have a couple of questions from Jessica, who, like I said, couldn't make it. Direct quote: while internet stalking you, I came across an adorable picture of you dressed as the one and only Weird Al. Do you have any songs that Weird Al has taken over? For me, it's Lump. I can only hear Gump.
Wow. Well, fun fact about me, I grew up on Weird Al's music. My dad was a big Weird Al fan growing up, so that was a lot of Weird Al's songs I heard the Weird Al version before I heard the actual song.
Same here, yep.
And honestly, for me, it's probably, it would probably be Eat It. That was one of the very first cassette tapes I bought with my own money. That's dating myself, but was the Food album, which was a collection of all Weird Al's food-related songs. And that song was my jam. I was probably like 8 or 9, and I lived and died for that whole album. But it's probably that, and I still can't hear I Want a New Drug without thinking I want a new duck. So that's a good question.
Yep. Oh, some of the stuff that Jess has been able to dig up on some of our other interviews in the past, I've looked at her like, how the hell did you find that? Seriously.
I think she's a secret spy or something.
Yeah.
Definitely dodgy going on there.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
We had a band, SLT, reach out to Scottie for an interview, coincidentally actually from Chicago. Still no idea how in the world that happened.
Yeah, right. Small world.
Yeah, go figure. So I'm talking to them about Chicago stuff, but yeah. So, and somehow Jess did the research and actually found what SLT originally stood for when the band was started 18 years ago. And they're like, how the hell did you find that? We barely even remember.
Right?
I know.
And she did somehow. Go figure. Anyway.
The internet is an unforgiving place. It all lives out there somewhere.
Yeah. I'm just to the point, I just simply assume now anything I send out to the internet, even if it's secure, it'll be found out by other people someday. I just assume that now.
Yeah.
Her other question was this, is you seem to have a very impressive vinyl record collection. What is your most prized record?
Ooh, I mean, I have a lot of like Beatles rarities and stuff because I grew up listening to the Beatles. I used to have 2 Beatles tattoos. Now I only have 1. But I feel like that would be the obvious choice. But I'm gonna say I have a promotional copy of the album Belly Button by the band Jellyfish, which nobody but me and a handful of really cool people remember. They were a power pop band from the early 90s, and I just adored them. And I had all of their stuff on cassette and never really thought about pursuing their albums on vinyl. And I was wandering through Reckless Records one day and they had a promo copy and it was like $12 or something absurd. And I don't think I've ever picked anything up and run to a cash register so fast in my life. But that's probably my prized possession. But I have so many. I mean, I've almost probably 2/3 of the Bad Religion discography on vinyl. I don't know. That's a tough one. Probably that Jellyfish one is going to be my, in the interest of being concise, we'll say Jellyfish.
Okay. Yeah, no problems there.
Because I'll ramble forever if you don't stop me.
And we're perfectly fine with that. There's no problems in the slightest there.
Perfect.
Yeah, we don't mind.
Yeah, we're always worried that we have too many questions, and yet sometimes we just tend to rock through them so fast. We're like, well, okay, we thought we were going to go an hour and a half, and it was 45 minutes. What else do we talk about now? Okay.
Oh, I'll fill the time. Don't worry.
Scottie, I told you she'd say that. I told you she would.
He did.
Yep.
He did.
Yep.
So I was like, okay.
Well,
Yep. So
we're just checking.
now we will go ahead and move on to Evil Engine here.
Love that shirt.
Wearing the swag here. Yep. And also showing off the drum.
Oh shit, that's right.
I still got it. Yep.
Charles, can you bring it a bit closer?
That will be even easier. Yep.
Cheers, Bob.
So.
Oh wow.
I always just assume people get rid of those things after they pledge. So.
Nope.
That's awesome. That makes me really happy.
So yeah, Kryssie and their band, Evil Engine, they went ahead and basically kickstarted both of their albums. Nullius in Verba, am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yeah, that's
okay. It was their debut EP. It was December 2016, and your second album was just called Number 2.
Correct.
And that was November of 2018. So like I said, you did Kickstart for both of those albums. Now, one of the things that I always found very interesting was one of the big portions of your contributions to the Kickstart from the Kickstarters was going to be to Big Run Wolf Ranch, which I heard is a really nice place. I wouldn't know because I've never been there myself.
I knew this was going to happen.
I knew I was going to do this. Okay, so the inside joke, everyone, here is part of the Kickstarter that when I donated to them is we were supposed to do a day with the band at Big Run Wolf Ranch, and just simply due to scheduling, it just never happened. And it's just been an ongoing joke between Kryssie and I ever since then. And it'll happen someday, whenever it happens, no big deal.
We're both going to be in our 80s with our walkers, and I'm going to finally take your ass there.
Exactly, which is perfectly fine. But I am actually curious, Big Run Wolf Ranch, why them, out of curiosity?
You know, when I very first joined Evil Engine, the band was sort of the brainchild of my bass player, Mike. And one of the big priorities of the band was to not just, because our songs could be borderline preachy, I guess. We're very unintentionally but politically driven, socially responsibly driven, very much into normal everyday issues that people face that they don't fucking talk about. Most songs are about love and heartbreak and what have you, which I love, but they're done to death. And so the whole point of Evil Engine was to kind of shed some light on stuff like police brutality and, things of that nature, which we couldn't have had better timing with that. But one of the things we wanted to do was to kind of walk the walk as well as talk the talk. And we decided when we very first started writing for the first EP that we were going to link up with a local charity or some kind of nonprofit and kind of give back. And we both really loved animals. His favorite animal was the wolf. I did a quick Google search. I discovered there was a wolf ranch maybe 30 minutes from our practice space. And it just kind of went from there. We hit them up. They were super gracious. They're very, very nice people over there. They run an absolutely spectacular facility that I promise we will go to. And they've got every possible animal you can imagine. They're a sanctuary that when animals can't be anywhere else, they end up over there. And we keep like a tip jar on our merch table for them. And, it's never a ton of money that we raise for them, but we end up matching whatever donations we get for them. And then we every couple of months when we were playing shows, every couple of months, we'd be like, hey, we have a couple $100 for you or whatever. And it's just our way of kind of putting that out there in the world that you can actually do good as well as try to be an activist and incite people to do good. You have to do it as well, if that makes sense.
Oh, it makes perfect sense. Yeah, I was actually reading up on them last couple of days. I'm looking at all the different variety of animals, and they actually have a tiger there now. They've got several wolves, and they've got a possum that they keep. They've got that was dropped off to them. They got a couple of porcupines. They've got a family of skunks.
Yes.
So they literally will care for whatever gets dropped off to them, and it just seems like the nicest group of people. I mean, they're half an hour from me. I'm right now.
Yeah, that's right. You're way further south than I am. That's right.
Yeah, because of COVID right now, the way it is, it looks like the only thing they're doing right now is just simply private tours. I'll go down there and set up my own personal private tour and go see them. It looks like just a hell of a facility.
It's wonderful.
So, yeah.
And you know, when you go, they let you, I mean, I got to hold a skunk. They feel like water balloons with fur. They feel like they don't have any kind of infrastructure. They're crazy, but I mean, I ended up setting up the Wolf Ranch with my work as well as our charity of the quarter maybe 2 years ago now, because they have a big black bear named Kuma. So yeah, what are the odds, right?
Yeah.
So they're absolutely phenomenal. I've always dealt personally with Teresa and Renee, and they're both really, really great ladies, and they know what they're doing. And I got to pet a baby wolf more than once, and I got to hold a baby possum. Somewhere I've got pictures of me absolutely losing my shit holding this tiny little possum in my hand. It's the happiest I've ever been in my life. Yeah, but they're phenomenal, and I absolutely encourage anybody who gets anywhere near them to go check it out. And if you want to set up a day, just you and me, and we can say, fuck my bandmates, we can just go. I love that place. I'm always looking for an excuse.
Once the world returns to normal, I'll take you up on that. Absolutely.
All right. It's
No
a date.
Done. Yep. So Scottie, I know we're gonna let's talk more about Evil Engine. I know you've got some stuff you want to chat about now.
Yeah, I was just wondering, Evil Engine, what does the band name mean? Sorry.
The name Evil Engine was already instated when I auditioned. It was Mike's brainchild, and the Evil Engine is basically it's sort of like Raging Against the Machine, but we're actually raging against the Evil Engine, which is all of the weird cogs and in the infrastructure of what's going on with government and things like that, and just social responsibility and stuff. And it's basically, the band is it's activism and satire all at once.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's a cool name though. And now that we know what it means, I mean, I thought it might have that because Charles explained a little bit about like some of your songs and, you know, the themes behind them and stuff as well. And I was like, I wonder, but I didn't want to assume. So
yeah,
best asking. Yeah. So why did you choose to do punk out of like all the other types of music? And can you describe what kind of music that you typically create, like how you go about the process as well?
Okay. Well, that's an interesting question, because I've been in like every possible kind of band you could imagine. I grew up on metal and punk and pop and lots of hip hop and all kinds of, I'm very well rounded, I guess you would say. But this particular band, it was Mike's kind of vision to put out a punk band that wasn't just about, you know, because there's basically two kinds of punk. There's I'm sad my girlfriend left me, like emo punk, and there's activism punk. And somewhere in that gray area is all the drunk punk stuff, which is phenomenal. That's honestly kind of the stuff that I prefer to listen to. But you know, both Mike and I, our favorite bands at the time when we started working together were Bad Religion. And if you are going to look up to any band ever, you might as well pick Bad Religion, because Greg Graffin himself, with multiple PhDs, is just the right role model to have as a performer. I appreciated them so much because they proved that punk could be smart. You know, there's other bands that have put that out there as well, but they were just the epitome. And I was like, I want to kind of do like a female fronted Bad Religion, but if Bad Religion had a baby with Pennywise and Motorhead was that baby's nanny, like that's what I wanted. And as far as the writing process is concerned, I prefer not to write an ounce of melody until the music is finished. It's just a personal preference of mine. I've been in bands since I was 15, and I've known this whole time that musicians are fickle and things change, and there is nothing in the world more frustrating than writing something that you're married to and then having everybody change it right out from under you, and then you're like, oh, okay, perfect, I'll fix this then. So that's kind of my nose is so itchy today. I think that's kind of been my MO ever since I was in any of my other bands, is just kind of wait so I don't get my heart broken. I would much rather have them kind of figure things out. Mike is our main lyricist. He is an incredible wordsmith, and there's very few things I've ever wanted to change coming from him, which is astounding. I'm usually a control freak when it comes to that kind of thing, and he is just a dispenser of things that I have no problem and stand behind parroting them out on stage to the rest of the world. So he's really the mastermind behind most of it, to be honest with you. And so I kind of wait for him to come up with stuff, and I put my little spin on it. I do Kryssie things to it, and then we record it.
That's cool. You've said that obviously Bad Religion is one of your bands that inspired you. Are there any other ones, or is there anybody even just in your life that has inspired you to continue and start doing music?
You know, I could go on for weeks about musicians that have inspired me. I love music. Ever since I could speak, I was singing. The big running joke in my family was always, you could tell what my sister and I were going to be when we grew up by how our bedrooms were decorated. My sister wanted to be a mom. That was all she ever wanted to be. She's a phenomenal mother, and her room was filled with little baby dolls. My room had a stage built into it out of a closet. And that was just how we were both destined to go. And it's really just been a part of my life ever since I was a little kid. One of my first and fondest memories is going to the elementary school to pick up my brother and sister. I'm the youngest, so I was probably 3, 4, and we were walking down to pick them up, and my dad was carrying me on his shoulders, and he was singing the bass line to Another One Bites the Dust and syncing up his footfalls with the beat of the song. And looking back at that, that's one of the first instances I can remember snapping into consciousness as a little kid. And it was centered around music. And the older I've gotten, everything is just bookmarked by music. And I've always wanted to be some kind of performer. If you look at video of me when I was a little kid, and, you know, mom's home movies, and what do you want to be when you grow up? It's never just one thing. It's, I want to be a comedian and an actress and a singer. And it's everything. I always wanted to just go out there and leave a scar on the world, whatever that may be. And music is basically acting and then some, because you get to be yourself on stage, but you get to be more of you than you wouldn't necessarily be able to in polite society. And that's something that I've noticed over the past year with the pandemic is really what I was into the more. Yeah. Are we the same person? We might be. We might be. That's weird. I haven't seen any of the chat stuff pop up before. I was like, hello. But yeah, I mean, all of my life has been benchmarked by songs and stuff like that. And if I could even put something out there that somebody else someday might listen to, you know, for example, I hate Bruce Springsteen, if anyone's wondering, but my very last day of school, senior year, when I got in my car after leaving, the first song that came on the radio was Born to Run. And I'll never forget that for the rest of my life. And I can't stand Bruce Springsteen, but that was such a cinematic, wonderful moment. And to be able to put things out there in the world that might have that same kind of effect on somebody it's invaluable. That, coupled with getting to be an asshole on stage and people applauding me for it, you can't lose.
And you are one hell of a performer on stage. I've only seen you on stage musically twice, and both sets were just unbelievable.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I never know what I'm doing until it's over, and then everyone tells me whether or not it was good or not. I don't know. It's you're a different person when you're up there. All of your inhibitions are gone, and half the time I just blank out, and then it's over, and I'm like, oh, we're done.
Yeah.
It's the primal animalistic thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you for the compliment. That really means a lot, because you've seen me grow up. So you've seen me as an actor versus a musician is kind of cool.
Watching your talent evolve in that regards, and then morph into the musical side of it. Yes, it's been a pleasure watching you grow in that regards. No question about it.
Thank you, Charlie.
Absolutely.
He's a sweetheart.
Yes, understatement.
Yeah.
Charlie is wonderful.
Yes, he is. So how did you meet the other band members?
Oh boy. Well, my involvement with Evil Engine started because I don't know if he found me or if I found him. Mike and I became friends on social media. Mike is the bass player, and really the main writer of the whole group. I don't think I can state how much we owe to him in terms of creating Evil Engine as it is. He and I, we started talking, and I was involved with a metal band that I had been in for 10 years at that point called Dead Man's Wake. I loved that band so much. I had a blast with that band, but it was sort of on its last legs. We had a revolving door of members, and we couldn't keep a lineup to save our lives, and it had just kind of run its course. And I was also involved in a cover band, which is the most fun you'll ever have in your life as a musician, because you don't have any of the burden of writing your own music or marketing or anything. You just it's basically fancy karaoke. And I love doing that. But I was involved in 2 projects. I wasn't really interested in finding a 3rd project, but I had gone with Mike to a rehearsal of Evil Engine with the lineup that it initially had. And the guys were good. They were a really solid band. They did not fit the vision that Mike had at all, though. And we had a lot of discussions about that. And I was like, man, if I had time, I would audition for you. And I just kind of left it at that. It was like an off to the side kind of comment. And then he came to me, I don't know, like a week and a half later, we were hanging out. He's like, I really want you to audition for Evil Engine. I'm like, I don't have time for a 3rd band. And I was like, all right, fine. Give me one of your tracks. Cause the music, I'd heard the music without any lyrics, and the music got me. Like, I really love melodic punk rock. So the fact that it was punk, but it was smart the way that it was written in terms of catchiness and pop elements, which I know he would hate to hear me say pop elements, but it does lend itself to be very hooky and very catchy. And I listened to the song Father, and I was like, wow, this really resonates with me emotionally, because it's all about deviating from the life that your parents have chosen for you and going against the grain. And that spoke to me, because I don't know if you remember this, Charlie, but when I was going to school at COD, I was trying to knock out all my prerequisites so I could transfer to Loyola as a pre-med major. And I wanted to be a medical examiner. That was going to be my life's work. I was going to get my doctorate. I was going to fall ass backwards into a 6-figure a year job, and it was going to be my thing. And then I got bit by the performing bug, and I was like, maybe I want a social life instead. But my mother and I had at the time a very big blowout about that, where I told her, you know what, I'm going to take some time off college. I'm going to pursue performing. And she said some not so nice things to me. The one that stuck with me forever was, call me when you're successful. I'd like to put it out there that my mother and I are fine now, but I was 18, 19, and that was just, so that left a big blemish on my personal psyche for a long time. And I read the lyrics to Father, and I was like, oh no, this is me. This sounds like it was written from inside of my own guts. So I was like, all right, fine. I'll humor him. I'll write a melody for the first verse and chorus. Done. And he he put it on one night in his minivan that he was borrowing from his mother, and I sang the first verse and chorus. He turned it off, grabbed me and hugged me and said, you have to be in the band. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm in. I really didn't think I had the time for it, but shortly after that, Dead Man's Wake went tits up, and the cover band that I was in started to have the same issues as Dead Man's Wake, where we couldn't keep a lineup, and the universe just kind of pointed to, okay, this is your new project, and that was it. And then I met Jamie, the guitar player, through Mike. They are lifelong best friends. They've known each other since they were like 14, 15. So I met Jamie through him, and then Colin, our first drummer, was actually a friend of mine prior to all of the Evil Engine stuff. I had met him when his metal band Crusader played with my metal band, and the first thing I ever said to Colin was "Party on, Garth," because he had long hair and glasses, and he didn't think that was funny, and I thought he would never talk to me again. But he messaged me on Facebook and asked if Evil Engine needed like a studio drummer or kind of a fill-in until we could get our lineup situated, because the band kind of hit the ground running when the video went viral. We were like, oh shit, we need to put something out right now. And we didn't have a drummer. We just had a programmed drum track that we recorded over real quick. And he messaged me wanting to be a temporary member of the band, and he came out and he auditioned. We were all obsessed with him as a player, and we were like, how do we get him to join without letting him know he's too good for us? And he accepted, and he was in the band for 4 years, up until his wife got pregnant with their first baby, and then he had to leave. And our current drummer, Tim, we met through playing with his other bands at various punk festivals. And when Colin decided to step down, he actually handpicked Tim as a replacement, which is huge. We auditioned a lot of people, and Colin had very big shoes to fill. He is an extremely well-rounded musician. He's played in pit orchestras for years and stuff like that. And that's your moneymaker right there. If somebody can play in a pit orchestra, that means they can play anything. And we were terrified to replace him. And thankfully, he was like, what about Tim from Peach Vomit? And we were like, yeah, let's see if we can get Tim to do it. And so, long-winded answer for a question, but it was mostly through social media and just happenstance that all of us kind of fell into each other's laps.
I like your answer though, and it is a massive compliment, isn't it, if somebody who's that talented picks you and you're like, oh. So,
yeah, they're both spectacular players, and we're very lucky to have worked with all of them.
Yeah, I was going to say that speaks volumes of like how good he is, doesn't it? So
yeah, he's great.
And scary too, because you're like, oh god, don't mess it up.
They're both similar players, but different enough that the new stuff that we put out with Tim will be, an evolution from what we put out before, but he can still do all of Colin's stuff justice, which is exactly what you want.
Yeah, that's wicked. If you could change anything about the industry, what would it be?
Ooh. Girl, how much time you got?
I was like, when I read it, I went, oh, we're gonna be here.
I mean, there's so many things that could deal with a little bit of a kick in the ass in the industry. I think, COVID notwithstanding, my biggest issue with the industry is probably the sexism and the misogyny. And, I don't love that, aside from this interview, every interview I do starts with, what's it like to be a girl in a band? And, it's, on one hand, it's a very valid question, because it's a situation that it's meant to be a boys' club. It's not meant to have a girl really in it. That's how it, became a thing. Women were the divas, and they were the lead singers. They weren't sweating their ass off in the back of a van with a bunch of gross boys for days on end. That was never a thing. I've had, that's probably my own personal pet peeve the most about the industry, is just, fighting to get into my own shows. People saying, well, whose girlfriend are you? What band are you with? I'm like, you're standing in front of a poster with my face on it. This is my band, and
look at Scottie's background, for crying out loud. It's your head. It's
so weird to see that. I've been trying not to look at it this whole time.
Thanks for drawing attention to that. Thank you.
You know what? That's one of my favorite stage photos ever, though. That was a good night for us. It was a really good show, and we were very lucky to have been on that particular bill. And my mohawk looked ferocious that night.
That looks like a beast. I was looking through your photos. I was like, I wonder which one I could steal, because I always put somebody's background on it. And I went, do you know what? That was like, I think one of the first ones, and I was like, I like that one, but I seem to be using it on everything. And then I was like, I come back to it, I went, you know what, I just like that one. I was like, it was freaking awesome.
You know what? The guy that shot that
good.
photo is a phenomenal photographer. His name's Matt Lusk. And he just mentioned to me, he's like, that's been your profile photo for over a year. And I'm like, you want to fight about it? I love this picture. I'll keep it for another 5 years. I don't care. Like, I still look exactly like that. Nothing has changed except my dye job is pretty garbagey and the sides of my mohawk are very long right now because it's a pandemic. I don't wear pants half the time.
Quarantine.
I'm not keeping up on my dye job. Exactly.
It's COVID. Screw it. Yeah.
I've got crap brows. Hair's not looking the best. I've tried to fix it. It's not working.
Your brows look amazing and your hair looks intentional. Like, that looks like an intentional dye job. So good for you.
Okay, I'm hiding it. I shouldn't have showed you. I was like, I'm hiding it.
No,
I did the front and just left the back and went, oh, it doesn't matter. Nobody can see the back.
That's why I have a hat on. You can see how long my roots are. It's a problem. My shit is a disaster.
And I don't feel brave enough to do it by myself. Like, I think my hairdresser would kill me. So I'm like, go to her bowl. She's like, I can't fix that either.
That's kind of where I'm at too.
No, going back to what you said, sorry, because it's not one of my questions, but I was like, I'm interested in that about you know, this sort of sexism thing. You know, I don't see why not. You know what I mean? Why does it have to just be a man area? I don't know if that's the right word I'm looking for, but it shouldn't be that difficult for women to pursue music in a genre like this. I mean, thankfully, punk is sort of like an anything goes genre, and it's been a lot more, dare I say, welcoming for me in this particular genre than it was when I was doing metal. When I was in a metal band, every time I'd show up for a show, they would expect this, you know, corset wearing songbird. They would expect me to be symphonic metal, you know, which is phenomenal. Like, that particular genre is amazing, but it's really upsetting that when people put the words female fronted in front of something, that's what they expect. And women and trans women and non-binaries and all of us that fall in the spectrum that isn't just cis male have lots to offer. And it's really troubling and fucking annoying that they need to put that out there as well. This is the female fronted punk rock band. We have t-shirts and stickers that say female fronted isn't a fucking genre. And it's a mantra that I personally live by. I don't think you can tell what kind of music I play just by the fact that I happen to have been born with lady plumbing. And that's something that needs to change. And it's on the way to that, but there's a long way to go. And I don't know if we'll see in my lifetime people being able to play shows without people saying, oh my God, you guys are so good for girls. So.
Okay. For the record, I told everybody in our group of friends here that, Kryssie, you would fit in fantastic with this group of friends.
Yay!
I can tell from every single person whose head is nodding right now that you would fit in great here. And damn it, I was right. Yep.
Kirsten's loving you.
You got hearts being thrown. You got kisses being thrown. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Absolutely.
I'm glad. I feel very welcome and comfortable here. So,
Kryssie, I've got all kinds of stories to tell you. Some of the funnest ones. You will laugh your ass off at some of these. Yes.
I bet.
We're not recording.
Yeah.
Stop recording first.
Yeah. Aaron is throwing in the chat. One of us. Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, and just for the record here, Kryssie, in case you weren't aware, we got Scottie coming at you from the UK. We've got Jeremy and Beth coming at you from the East Coast. Kirsten and I and Stacy are from Central. And Rin is also coming from the UK. Erin is coming at you from Australia. It's 9 a.m. tomorrow for her, or 10 a.m. tomorrow, whatever it is.
From the future.
Exactly. Yes, got time travel going on here.
That's awesome.
Not sure where Benji's coming from.
Northern Ireland.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Kirsten's already admitted she may actually have a bit of a crush on you. So yeah. She put that in the chat. So yeah.
That's so sweet. Thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, so we've literally got the entire planet talking to you right now. So
no shit. What up, Northern Ireland? I had an ex-boyfriend bring back a big bottle of Bushmills from the distillery over there, and I drank most of it. So thank you.
Yeah.
can't see him. Where's he gone? We've got to find him. Oh, his camera's off, so it doesn't matter. He's probably laughing though.
He loves
Hell
Bushmills,
yeah, I
he
love
said.
Bushmills.
Yep.
Oh yeah. There you go. I thought I'd give him a minute.
Yeah, he's in Northern Ireland. That's, I think, where his wife's from. Yes.
Yes, Northern Ireland. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was from here where I live at the minute, and then he's
Yeah.
there.
That's so crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for being here. Makes me feel super important.
Yeah.
I know you're awesome.
Flinging food this morning to feeling important tonight. So thank you guys.
You're welcome.
And if you're not in a hurry, we've got plenty more questions for you too, if you like.
Yeah, lay them on me. Sure.
I was like, yeah, go more.
Cool.
I was gonna say, what message would you want to give to your other fans? You've made some new ones here, I think.
Oh. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I necessarily stand for any one particular message. I'm just a very no frills, no bullshit kind of person. And I think
you
that
always have been, yes.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever outgrow that, unfortunately. But I think that's really something that the whole world could kind of stand to do. I think if everybody was a little less frills and a little less bullshit, then the whole world could progress as a whole a lot faster. And that's really the only message I would have for literally anyone is that A, life is long, so you got lots of time to figure out what your own personal destiny is and to make it fucking happen. And two, don't take no for an answer on literally anything ever, because the minute you do, you lose. Let me know if you need another bottle. I never don't need bottles of Bushmills, but I also know that it's very hard to get them through customs. So,
oh yeah,
we'll talk.
I'll send you his details.
Yep.
Perfect.
If you
That was
ever
always
this
my
way,
thing that I would drink after shoveling snow, ironically enough. And it's funny that it's snowing right now, but Bushmills was always my little treat after sweating my ass off shoveling the driveway.
if you ever come over this way, get some, like, you can get so much more of it, like, so easy.
If I'm coming over, I'm not coming back here. So you're going to have to find someone to pay my mortgage while I'm gone.
I'm sure everybody could club together and help you out.
Perfect.
I've just like volunteered everybody, like, I ain't got no money.
We're all best friends now, right?
Yeah,
We'll
it's all
talk.
good.
We'll
It's all
definitely
good.
talk, yeah.
But if you ever need anywhere to stay, if you come over here, I can sort you out, no problem.
Excellent. Well, I'll keep you in mind if we ever play shows over there. We've been really trying to get into Rebellion Fest. And if we end up over there, I want to book an entire tour. I don't want to just fly out there for one big festival. So I'll keep you in mind.
I'll sort you out.
We've also been making contacts with other bands through some of our other Q&As we've been doing. We could probably hook you up with other bands too. So yeah.
Would love that. I would love that. I'm always about networking, even if it doesn't end up with anything show wise. It's always so fun to just kind of trade stories and meet new people and see what everybody else's experience is like in this crazy business.
And that's related to some of the stories I was saying I'm looking forward to telling you, actually, because you'll really appreciate some of this too. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Definitely. Yeah, we've worked. I've been really like privileged to be able to work with some of these people, and some of the stories, man, are hilarious, because everybody that was here, the Esoterica Q&A, like the Never Have I Ever, oh, they got some stories.
Oh yeah.
I learned my lesson about playing that game. Not on camera. Never again in front of anything that might document it. I won't play Never Have I Ever.
You know what? They're English boys. They didn't give a crap. They were, well, boys and a lady, because you've got to remember Laura, she's beautiful. But I'm like proper pimping her out there. I was like, she's so beautiful.
Yeah.
But no, they're a hoot. They managed to go over to the US and they've got some stories.
Oh God, yes.
They were chatty, weren't they? They were really chatty, and they didn't care they were on camera either. They were just like,
nope.
Yeah,
Nope. We had a lot of fun. It was almost 2 hours plus.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
We're chatty boys.
And we're hitting the hour mark here now, really, actually. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what we want them around about. What are you working on next? I'll stop yapping.
Oh boy. In terms of music, Evil Engine is kind of taking a bit of a writing break right now with the industry the way that it is. We're not sure when we're going to be able to book shows again. So that used to be sort of the forefront. That was what we did all the time, was just we played out and we played with different bands and got to play in different cities and stuff like that. And now that that's sort of been neutered by this whole COVID business, we're just kind of writing at this point. We have probably a good another solid EP worth of music ready to go. We just need to get it done. We, like I said, we did replace our drummer, so we're working on getting Tim. He's basically up to speed with everything. He's a bad motherfucker when it comes to being a musician. So he picked everything up really quick. But we're just kind of working on getting all of us on the same page and getting everything perfect so we can hit the studio. So that's, I would like to see us in the studio sometime within the next year, but I don't know if it's going to happen just because of all of this COVID stuff. And I'd much rather be safe than sorry. You know, my drummer's got a newborn baby girl at home. I don't want to be getting anybody sick. I'm not trying to do that. And I work with the public every single day. So it's a push and pull for me, kind of morally, to figure out if it's a good idea to even get together with anybody. So we'll see what this year brings, but we aren't even rehearsing at this point in time, just in the interest of safety. But that doesn't mean we're going anywhere. We've still got lots planned. So the next EP will be the next plan.
Fingers crossed to get back to it. I've got fingers crossed for everybody in general that we've worked with. They're all dying to get back to what they love doing, which is fair enough. And
you don't realize how much you hate it until it's gone. That's for sure.
Exactly. Speaking of venues, is there any sort of favorite venues you played, least favorite venues?
Venue you've always wanted to play but haven't yet?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I want to play a stadium. I don't care where. I think it would just be amazing to see my little 5'2" ass on a stadium stage.
Love it.
I mean, I always wanted to play at the Metro in Chicago, and we got to do that with 88 Fingers Louie. They picked us to open their CD release show a couple of years ago, which was surreal. That was a dream come true for sure. I think my favorite venue that we've ever played, for such silly personal reasons, is probably Webster Hall in New York City. Because that's where the part of the movie To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar, was filmed. So,
love that movie.
So, okay, well, Webster Hall is where the drag show in the beginning takes place.
Oh, that is so awesome.
So I'm running up and down the stairs going, "Little Latin boy in a dress, why are you crying?" Like, I was dying. And I don't think anyone else in my band cared, but I was just, starstruck by a building.
Yep.
But that's definitely up there for me. But I really, there's a lot of really great venues just in the Chicago area that I've really been very lucky to take the stage. I think the best sound we've ever had has been at Bottom Lounge. If you ever end up in Chicago, please go see a show there, because the sound there is amazing. And they're one of the only venues, them and the Metro, that I can think of were the only venues that we've played at in a very long time that didn't laugh in my face when I showed them that I had an in-ear monitor rig. They were like, "Oh, okay, we know how to use this," as opposed to some of the bars that we played at that they're like, "What is this?" So, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of local venues, but Webster Hall is always gonna kind of hold my heart just because of the movie.
Yeah, no, it's a stunning movie and it's brilliant. It's so funny. If nobody's seen it, go watch that movie.
Yeah, that's everybody's homework. Go see To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar.
What a funny ass movie. Oh my God.
It's a brilliant film that was worlds ahead of its time.
Absolutely.
RuPaul is in it, and her drag name in that movie is Rachel Tension. I want to give her a hug.
Yeah.
Amazing. So brilliant.
My favorite bit was she's getting filled up and she's like, "Get your hand off my dick." Brilliant. Kills me every time. Still makes me laugh.
So much of that movie was perfect. Oh my goodness.
I'm
gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch that tonight.
Yeah, and John Leguizamo's legs. Whew,
that was Leguizamo, Snipes, and Swayze, right?
Yep.
Okay, I thought I was remembering correctly on that. Yep.
Yeah, the whole get your hand off my dick thing was Wesley Snipes, and I cannot pull off that voice. But it's so funny.
Patrick Swayze.
He looked good too, to be fair. Kind of looked like could be your auntie or something, though, to be fair.
Honestly, I really thought John Leguizamo was gorgeous in drag. I think like he's one of those, he has those really kind of soft features where he could be an absolutely gorgeous woman or a beautiful man, and it's not fair, and I'm jealous.
And the legs were stunning. Legs.
Oh, yes.
Woo!
Yes.
Better than my legs. I shouldn't have said that either. But he's got good legs.
I really hope everyone watches this movie.
Yeah, because if not, we're hyping it up, and then it's just like, please watch it, please watch. That's
Watch party.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go. I wonder if it's on any streaming services.
I
own
think I
it.
have. I'm pretty sure I have it actually.
Yeah, I do too.
I got it.
Yeah, and I've got my own media server here at home, so we can do a watch party off my own media server. So there we go.
Dang. Okay, Charlie.
Come on, Kryssie. It's me and movies. Of course,
I know.
I've got it.
I know. Who the hell am I talking to, right?
Of course, yeah. Everybody was always borrowing my DVDs and TV shows back in the day. I've always got the freaking cabinets and cabinets of DVDs. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If it's wrong, I don't want to be right.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then, sorry, because we keep going off topic. But
Told
that
you
is a fab movie. But
I told you I would.
Mm-hmm.
it's fine. We love a good conversation here. Who are some of your favorite bands that you've performed / toured with?
I bet I know one of these answers.
What do you think, Charlie?
Dollskin.
My girls.
I knew you would say it, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think
They
Dollskin
were
is for sure the obvious answer. They've been an absolute pleasure to watch kind of blossom as musicians. The first time we played with them was in 2017, 16, 17. It's probably 2017. It's right around 4 or 5 years ago. But they were young at the time. I mean, Sid, their vocalist, Sid was 16 at that point, I think. And they were all just, they were young. And they were amazing then. And watching them grow as performers, we did a small tour with them a couple years ago, past that first show. It was a couple years, it was a year or two after that first show. And watching them all just completely blow their old performances out of the water, which were initially great, was just such a pleasure to see. It's nice to see a new generation of they are actually no longer an all-female band, though. I should say that. I did say my girls because that's what I've been calling them for years. But Sid came out as NB, so they are not all female anymore, but they are just the antithesis of what you would expect from a girl band, and I appreciated that so much. The 15-year-old that still lives in my heart would have killed for a band like that when I was their age, and they are a force to be reckoned with in so many ways, personality-wise, performance-wise, writing-wise. They're brilliant, and they were by far my favorite band to play with. We became real life actual friends, and they stay with us when they come through town, and we make sure that we take everybody out to dinner and all that stuff. And every time they play the Chicagoland area, we try to open for them, just not even for exposure's sake or any of that like business garbage. It's literally just hanging out with your friends, and we crash each other's stages for songs and stuff like that. You know, they Mike and I crashed their performance at work tour because we just happened to be there, and they were like, "Come on up here," and you know, they're great. They're absolutely phenomenal human beings, and I love the shit out of every last one of them. And they're probably the number one. We've opened for a lot of really cool bands. We got to play with Dead Kennedys and TSOL, which is like a bucket list bill. I really love playing with the Boll Weevils. If you're not familiar with the Boll Weevils, they're a Chicago-based punk rock band. Their singer Daryl is one of those performers that makes me want to quit performing because he's that good. I don't like playing after them. I prefer to only ever play before them because he's so crazy good. But yeah, they're phenomenal. There's a band I think they're based out of Ohio now, called Tiger Sex, that I would absolutely. Oh, bye.
Hi, Stacy. Stacy, one of our members has to get going, so.
I'm sorry, I'll ramble forever. Have a good night, Stacy.
You got a thumbs up. Bye, babe.
Bye, boo-boo. But yeah, Tiger Sex is the other band that I would absolutely say is like, you have to check them out. Their singer, Kelly, is just, I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Henry Rollins. He sang for Black Flag for years, but also he's a solo performer, and just, he is a bad motherfucker on stage. He is so much fun to watch, and just amazing. And he had this unspoken rivalry with Iggy Pop for a long time, where anytime they would play together, they would try to outdo each other.
Mhm.
And the first time I saw Tiger Sex perform, I was like, oh my God, I'm Henry Rollins and she's Iggy Pop. I never in a gazillion years thought I would ever, it's not like a rivalry, it's not a competition or anything, but like she makes me want to be a better performer because she just leaves everything she's got out there on the stage. So definitely, you know, check out Dollskin, check out the Boll Weevils, and check out Tiger Sex, because every single one of them is so worth your time.
Yeah, so the next question anyway, which kind of ties into what you're saying, was like, who would you like to collaborate with? Would they be like the ones to collaborate with? Would they be your top ones?
I'm pretty sure if I collaborated with Tiger Sex, we would just blow up the whole building. I don't think it would. I don't know if any venue can handle me and Kelly on stage together. I would love to see it happen. Yeah, I don't know. That's a really good question. Oh God. Off the top of my head, I mean, I would love to do something with Dollskin a little more formally than just us crashing each other's sets when we play show together. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, the obvious answer, anyone in the world, if I wanted to collaborate with, I would want to do a song with Bad Religion. I would literally lop off my right arm if somebody told me I could go play a show with Bad Religion right now. But, you know, that being said, my mind is very open and I really enjoy working with other musicians, no matter what the project is. No project is too big or too small. I really relish the experiences of working with different musicians and kind of seeing where everybody comes from and what makes everybody tick. So I would for sure, honestly, be open to pretty much anyone.
Yeah. If you're gonna do it, I want to see. I'm not gonna lie. I want to see you and Kelly together. I think that'd be hilarious.
All right.
If
I'll
it's
hit her
gonna
up.
be
We'll
as
see what we
crazy.
can do.
I was gonna say, if it's as crazy as you think it's gonna be, I want to see that.
Oh, she's so good. She's so good. Just Google the band Tiger Sex and you'll be like, why did we waste time interviewing Kryssie? Oh my God, Kelly's so much better.
No, I don't.
But definitely look them up. I can't sing their praises highly enough.
Yeah, I'm just literally writing down on my phone because I've got my notes here. I was like, Tiger Sex.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you know.
And just because everybody has to have Tiger Sex in their Google search history.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, just to screw with
Google
the FBI and the CIA.
Band.
Tiger Sex. What the hell are they doing Googling Tiger Sex for?
Yeah, maybe Google Tiger Sex band and see what happens there.
Okay. Yeah.
Perfect.
So now I guess I just got to ask one of these questions because I'm going to hear the answer to this. What is the most useless talent you have? Doesn't even need to be musically related, but what is the most useless talent that you have?
I have a really large memory bank for all kinds of trivia, all kinds of really dumb factoid crap that nobody needs to know. I've got it all, but I can't remember like where I parked my car. That stuff goes in and right out, but you know, I can remember all kinds of dumb things about music and what have you. I don't know, Charlie, you've heard me burp. That's probably my most useless talent.
That you are, yeah, we've had plenty of competitions at Fridays back in the day. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep. Competitions at Fridays, cast party competitions. No question there. Yep. Definitely.
Yep. I had forgotten about Fridays.
Oh yeah.
Lord.
Yep.
That's the place where I drank underage for years.
Oh no, we know not of what you speak. No,
no. Didn't hear that. Must have cut out.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
The only thing we don't got to worry about there is every Fridays where that actually could have happened at is gone now. So.
Yeah, the one we all used to hang out at after rehearsals and stuff is literally gone.
Both of them. The one in Naperville over on Ogden, right off of Ogden, and the one over by Yorktown is both gone. The one
by Yorktown is literally just an empty parking lot now.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So, oh well.
So Krystie's the one to take to a pub quiz then.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, definitely. I am totally your trivia master.
Awesome. I get really competitive and I know some useless facts too. So I'm like, you're
God, does Scottie get competitive? So when Jess and I were going to do the whole video reveal thing we talked about earlier, Jess and I were freaking getting impatient. We had to wait like an extra 20, 25 minutes because Scottie was doing a Zoom quiz with some other people on like 80s music. We kept waiting for her to finish it. Jess and I are on a separate video calls like, Scottie, finish the damn quiz. We're waiting. The hell is
I want to do an 80s music quiz. Why don't I get to do it?
And we absolutely were. It was like 15 minutes later than she said she'd be free. So we're like, how many more questions do you have? Are you almost done yet? Yeah, last question. Oh, thank God.
No, it's because I was facing off with my friend Chris, and he did kick my ass by 3 points. That's not the point. But there was one song, he got it, to be fair, and I just, for the life of me, could not remember what it was. And it was All Night Long by Lionel Richie, so he can kiss my ass from now on. So, you know, I was not happy. I was like, so yeah, you beat me. I did beat him in all the other rounds though, so I'm not too sore about it. But I was the one that was going, they were going, what category should we do now? And I'm like, 80s, I want to do 80s. Yeah, got my ass kicked. That's what I get.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I've learned, that anytime you're being very competitive with something, if somebody beats you, you declare that round a practice round and it never counted to begin with.
Next time. Thank you. Good tip. Hey, if we do another one, you're welcome to join us. We probably will do, to be fair. We had a good I'm going off topic again, we're so bad at this, but we did a what the fuck did I watch round. It's a new one that we did, and it was like, so how you get the badly explained movies, so like Finding Nemo, it's like, yeah, we did that. Fucking nailed it.
Perfect. That sounds super fun.
Actually, one of the things that Erin, who's also on the call here, Erin and I have actually been working on is she and I have actually been starting to put together a list of movie and TV trivia quiz questions for us to do our own trivia night ourselves, actually.
Okay.
So she's actually got a bunch of questions together. I've started putting a few together. Jeremy's actually starting to put together some questions as well for his own trivia night. Jeremy, you're doing music, is it? Yes, no, just nod. Yeah, Jeremy's doing some music stuff. So we're starting to put some of those together to ourselves, just to kind of do it for ourselves, just kind of for the hell of it kind of thing too. So when that comes around, I'll loop you in, don't worry.
I say, do you hear that? That's the sound of me inviting myself. Yeah, let's do that.
No, so you're not inviting yourself, Kryssie, because I was already planning on it. So yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you're already set there, yes.
I'm in.
Yeah, like I said, Kryssie, you're already interested there. So yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
Jeremy's
and then that's right. Jeremy is also doing a Monopoly game, custom Monopoly games, based around the Frog Leap Studios. So, and I'll when we chat later, I'll explain to you the whole history behind Frog Leap, and Frog Leap is how the group of us basically became friends in the first place. So
cool.
The whole
it's
story.
Like your
there.
Origin story.
It is exactly what it is, actually. Yes. So
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. I know one of the questions that Scottie wants to get an answer to is, what is the most trouble you've ever gotten into?
Lord.
Lord.
Wow.
Most trouble.
As long as it doesn't get you arrested, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know what's really funny? I've never been arrested. Ever.
You never caught. You never
That's right. Because I am the youngest of 3 children, and I have learned how to get away with everything. My entire upbringing consisted of trying to figure out how to live under the radar and get away with whatever I needed to do.
Yeah, and figure out how to blame it on the older kids too.
Bingo.
Mm-hmm. My younger sisters did that crap to me all the time. Yes.
That's okay. Being the youngest is not as much fun as it sounds. I promise you. So getting y'all in trouble is like the least you can let us have. God, I don't know. The biggest trouble I've ever been in. I feel like I could tell you the worst thing I've ever done in my life that I for sure, I still carry so much guilt about it to this day is inadvertently, I am a legitimate homewrecker. I broke up a marriage once and it was not intentional. It was a thing that started off as a friend who was leaving his wife wanted to stay with me to get away from that whole experience and just needed somewhere to go. And that kind of snowballed into, oh, I have feelings for you. Oh, you're my best friend. Oh, blah, blah, blah. And it ended up being like a 2.5-year relationship after that. And then I dumped him.
Ooh.
oops. Yeah, he didn't, I mean, to be fair, he didn't leave his wife for me. That was already happening. But that's still something that I think about to this day. Like, I feel utterly awful for her because I'm sure it must have looked way different from where she was sitting than from where I was sitting. And I wouldn't wish that kind of experience on anyone. And I know if I were in her position, I'd be absolutely miserable. On the flip side, I did her a huge favor inadvertently because that guy was trash and that guy still owes me about $6,000. And, but you know what? I fucking deserved that. I got what I asked for because I tried to help somebody and I let it become a relationship thing. And, that's probably the worst thing that I've ever done that I can think of off the top of my head.
I did not know that story. I never would have asked that question then. I'm so sorry. Okay.
Totally fine. No, I told you I'm an open book.
You did.
I'm an open book. I got nothing to hide. After the reality show, I've literally showered and pooped on camera. Like, there's nothing else about my life that is a secret at this point.
That's true. They do film everything, don't they? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I had to sign a piece of paper that said it was totally fine with me that there was a camera in the bathroom.
No.
I mean, it's not a monitored camera. If that's what nobody's watching it. It's more of like a safety precaution. I think there was a girl a couple seasons before me that got hammered and passed out in the bathroom and nobody knew where the hell she was and they couldn't get the door open because she was behind the door. So I think that's what kind of made that a thing.
Yeah.
But
okay.
But that being said though, that's the extent to which I don't have anything to hide.
Gotcha.
The older I get, the less of a threshold I have on everything. And I'm just like, whatever, if you really want to know, I'll tell you.
It's the one of those be careful what you wish for things, isn't it?
Absolutely.
That's kind of also the mentality I've also taken with regards to the internet as well too, is just, if you're going to go ahead and send it out on the internet, assume it's going to get out there anyway. So
yeah,
exactly.
And I'm a freaking cybersecurity guy. I just assume it's going to get out there. So yeah. Nope.
Yeah.
You want to say that about the CEO of your company? Assume somehow it's going to get around to him. Just assume it will. It may take 3 years, but it will. Yeah.
I grew up in an Italian family, and like rule number one of how you live your life is to never put anything in writing. And the fact that people will type shit all fucking day long makes my skin crawl. Like, okay. Clearly you didn't grow up in the same family I did.
Yeah.
Never leave a paper trail about nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good life advice right there, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Very, very true there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, didn't grow up in an Italian family, so I'll take that with me.
Yeah.
We're getting advice.
That's all right. It was probably way quieter at your house than it was in mine.
Well, actually, Kryssie, Scottie has 8 kids.
Fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
You have 8 kids?
Yeah, my oldest is 21. My daughter's actually on here. She's going to be like, why again? Where's she gone?
How?
Camera's off. She's 16. Oh, there she is. Hang on, I was on the wrong one there. Hello. She was what I'm
Yeah, Rin there is Scottie's kid, yeah.
What? That's insane.
What are you doing, love?
She's lying down.
Got nothing for you. You got no sound. You need to put your headphones in. Yeah, she's 16. She's actually 17 in August. Oh, Jesus. When I say it like that, I'm like, shit. But yeah, her brother, Dylan, he's 21. I had him at 17, so I kept...
Oh, my goodness. You look like you're 25. This is not fair.
No,
this isn't fair. I'm upset.
No,
I'm like offended at how great you look.
Well, thank you. I don't know whether to take it as a compliment or not.
It's a huge compliment. Trust me.
I told you look good, Scottie. I told you look good, but no, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a guy. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
I don't want to offend her, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, thanks. No, I'm 39 next week, so you're welcome to come join us if you want. We're going to get a bit crazy.
Yeah, we have another Q&A next Saturday, and then after that Q&A, we're doing basically like a birthday party for her. We're bringing a whole bunch of people on from other Q&As. I'll get you the info.
That's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep me updated.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Freaking Ben, I can see that. Ben's just typed in the chat. I swear she hasn't aged in the time I've known her. He's known me for over 23 years, I think. And he went, mentally or physically. Shut up, you.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing. There is a difference between growing older and growing up. I have no problem growing older. I'm not trying to grow up. I still got an action figure collection. I'm literally sitting next to a giant Terminator. Like, I am a child.
I love it.
Don't get it twisted. Don't ever grow up.
Yeah.
Okay, for the record, I'm kicking myself. I have not thought to bring this up before now. Tattoos and piercings. Go.
Just these at the minute.
I
do
have
want more.
all of them. Yeah. I have all the tattoos and all the piercings.
Kirsten's
What
got her doubles as well. She's got her snake bites. It's like a little snake bite club going on here. Look.
It is a little snake bite society. Look at that.
I did have the middle one done, but I took it out. So it was like I had 3 at one point. So it was well cool.
I keep meaning to get dimple piercings because I got these big circular cherub cheeks, but
you would look banging with some cheek
thank
ones.
you. I think they would look adorable, but the fact that I have to wear a mask all the time, I'm like, I don't know if this is the best time to be trying to heal any more facial piercings, but
Yeah, wait till COVID's gone. I want to get a triple forward helix.
oh, do it.
I'm waiting to go. We actually were going to go. I went with Rin actually, so my daughter, and we were going to go and get them done. Sorry, and I ended up getting these redone again because I took them out, and I was like,
oh,
because I'm going to grow old disgracefully. That's what I was like. Grow old disgracefully.
Like I said before, you need to leave a scar on the fucking world, and if I'm not gonna go out with any regrets. I'm not trying to get no gold medal for being good at the end of all of this. Like, I'm gonna come skidding in sideways at the very end, covered in tattoos, with a mouthful of food, like
Good girl. I love
drunk
it.
off my ass. Like,
I love it. I love it. We're
that's what it's
sidetracked from
about.
questions again, but I don't care. I'm having fun.
Yeah, Ren put in the chat, Mom, we all know you're more of a teenager than me. We all know it. So, yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and as far as being a big kid, Kryssie, you haven't seen this in a while. I've gone Lego crazy.
He's obsessed.
Perfect.
That's a fuck ton of Lego, dude. You've never shown us that side of the bloody room.
Oh, yeah, I have.
Holy
You've
cow.
never noticed. Yeah.
You know, that's so funny because the kid in me is like, fuck yeah, Legos. And then like the old lady in me that has a house payment is like, that's a lot of money right there, Charlie.
You're
It's so
collecting argument shit. Don't know how I feel. Here he goes, these calls him.
Christ, Charlie.
He got it out last time.
How long did that take you?
Total, that was 26 hours.
Can't believe it.
This is the current biggest Lego set ever at just over 9,000 pieces.
Whoa.
Yeah.
He likes getting that big boy out.
Damn right.
I'm over here bragging about my Terminator, and he's like, well, did you see my Legos? I'm like, shit. You win, okay?
He does.
That's fucking cool,
no, your Terminator is still badass as hell. No question about that. Yeah.
That's true.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to hear.
Yeah. Before I die.
But then, I mean, I don't. You said you got your pajama pants on, but that's fine. You're Robocop on your leg.
It's on my arm.
Actually. Oh, your arm. Sorry, yeah. And your Robocop tattoo is just freaking badass. I remember that. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I would get it out on camera, but I'm freezing. I'm upstairs in my house right now, and it's fucking cold. Yeah. And I'm sure Charlie has told y'all that it's blizzarding outside.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I've got a big Robocop tattoo on my left arm. It's Robocop itself, and then I have the Ed 209 robot directly above it. It's gotten me out of a ticket before, so it's paid for itself.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the cop that pulled me over, she was ready to write me a ticket because my address was wrong on my license, because I had just moved, and by that I mean I moved like 3 years prior and never changed my fucking address, and I got pulled over, and she was like, "Oh, your address doesn't match where you're registered," and I was like, "I know," and she was about to write me a ticket, and she had her little booklet in her hand, and she stopped and she looked at me and she said, "Is that Robocop?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Why Robocop?" Mind you, it is 3:00 in the morning. I had just swerved to miss a possum on my drive home, so I thought she thought I was drunk. And I had maybe 3 glasses of wine over the course of a long period. So I was in no way inebriated, but I probably smelled like wine. And she says, "Why Robocop?" And my stupid ass looks her in the face and says, "Because I believe in justice." Yeah, she laughed and she closed up her ticket book. She handed me back my license and said, "Drive safe. Have a good night."
You got a cop to laugh.
Yeah,
I did. And it got me out of a ticket that would have been like $125. So thanks, Robocop.
well played. Yeah, well played.
Yeah. But no, I got all of my meaningful tattoos like the instant I turned 18. The very first tattoo I got was a treble clef on the back of my neck because, I was 18 years old and I was like, I'm always going to love music. And I wasn't wrong, thankfully. Got that tattooed as soon as I turned 18. I was going to try and keep it a secret from my mother because you're not supposed to get tattooed when you live under her roof and what have you. And I kept it a secret for about 2 hours. And I finally was like, check it out. And she's horrified. And, I progressively started getting other tattoos. I got my Beatles tattoos right away. One of which I had covered up because it was in a stupid spot. My favorite Beatles song of all time is Hey Bulldog. And I got the Bulldogs from Yellow Submarine tattooed on my shoulder. And they were just in the middle of nowhere. And it didn't make any sense compositionally with anything else I would have ended up getting. And when it came time to really level with myself and go, okay, you're probably going to cover about 80% of your body in tattoos. Maybe we should rethink this. I had it covered up with the Bride of Frankenstein. So she is now covering that, but I still have a Beatles tattoo. If anybody cares, I have 2 swallows on my thigh, and they have little banners in their mouths that say "This bird has flown," because my second favorite Beatles song is Norwegian Wood, and I couldn't just not have a Beatles tattoo. So that's that. But I have way too many things tattooed on me. Once I got all of my meaningful ones, I was like, maybe I will get a photorealistic portrait of Robocop. Maybe I will get Large Marge from Pee-wee's Big Adventure on my thigh. I have a pinup pageant on my shins where one leg is an alien pinup and the other leg is a predator pinup.
Oh my God, I want to see that.
I mean, if I wasn't incredibly hairy right now, thanks to monogamy, I would just lift my pant legs and show y'all. But the blessing and the curse of commitment is that I haven't shaved my legs in a bit. So I'll find you a photo and I'll send it.
I was gonna say, or we could do this again and we could just do like a tattoo tour. Shows everything. Shows all
Oh my goodness. You know, it's really funny. I had to do that when I was on Big Brother. They sent somebody to my hotel room before I went in there to take photos of every single tattoo that I have, because a lot of the stuff that I have is copyrighted imagery. And
yeah, they blur you, isn't they?
Isn't that crazy that they even thought to do that? I didn't think about that. And they took photos of, every inch of my body that's tattooed, which is a lot. And then they told me right before I went on the show that I couldn't show any of my tattoos. So I spent the entire time in the Big Brother house in Los Angeles in August, September, God, wearing a hoodie. I had long sleeves on the whole time. Anytime I had to take my hoodie off, they would cut the cameras from me. So there was a whole group of people out there in the real world that thought that I never showered, because anytime I would take my hoodie off, they'd cut the cameras from me.
Oh, that sucks.
So everybody was like, oh my gosh, she's so gross, she never showers. Like, how do y'all think my hair got wet though? Really? But yeah, it is what it is.
At least it guaranteed you privacy in the bathroom.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Although when you were in the shower door came up to about here on me, so they could film me talking over the shower door, because you couldn't see any of my tattoos. But
so
even so,
not do that then. I suppose if you could have went, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kinda.
But I mean, most of the ones on my lower arms and stuff, I have a full sleeve on my right arm, but everything is so mixed together that it's kind of difficult to tell what anything is. So here and there, if I would move my arm up into the frame, it wasn't a big deal. But it was more so if I'm sitting there having a discussion in bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, I get called into the diary room and they're like, "Can you put a sweatshirt on? We can see RoboCop." So, but yeah, fun fact.
Good job. You weren't like neck tattoos would be stuffed.
I know, wouldn't that be amazing? I would love to get a full collar piece done. I just don't know what I want there yet, and I don't want to just get one for the sake of getting one. So
I want one that literally goes from here all the way across to each sort of.
Girl, do you have any chest tattoos?
No, but I do want one. I'm a human wreckage. Honestly, it's probably not going to be that bad compared to some of the shit I have to do. So it's
I realize that you have 8 children, so you are a Terminator.
Yeah.
Just be mindful, the chest sucks. I had a big chest piece planned I have 2 tiny little skulls because I started the chest piece and it hurt like hell.
No, I definitely want to. Speaking of sort of like human wreckage, Charlie and Kirsten are not the people to talk to when you're in hospital. You know what you did. Look at them laughing.
What did you do?
I'm going to unmute Kirsten. Look at her laughing. She knows what she did.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
ahead,
boy,
Kirsten.
what's happening now?
Yeah, it's you.
Are
You're
you talking
naughty.
about when I offered to show the orderlies my
Yes.
boobs?
Yeah. I was like,
Yes, I did that,
for
but that
you.
was before I was comfortable doing so. So it was more of a tease act, but it was still, we got a good laugh. Everybody
Yeah.
had fun.
I'm getting wheeled up to a ward, and she's like, show you my boobs, and I'm like, oh my god, Jesus.
We were just trying to make, because we could see the orderlies behind, like them behind her, and she was being wheeled into whatever room, and it was just a normal thing. And so we were all just chatting, and yeah, just thought, hey, make you guys laugh.
Why not?
It was one of these points where Scottie had been awake for probably going on 28, 30, 32 hours straight.
Wow.
We were trying to keep, we were trying to keep her mood light. We were trying to keep her laughing, smiling, just jovial in general, just because she was stressed as hell, to say the least.
And my tendency is to flirt, so I just, I just
Beautiful
did it.
thing.
Yeah. They're the best hospital buddies though. So if you ever need a hospital buddy, ring these two.
Hopefully you don't need a hospital buddy though.
Oh yeah,
I
no.
I don't have insurance, so I can't have a hospital buddy. I can't go to the hospital. You just got to let me die. That's how it works in America.
Wow.
You don't have health insurance. You just put me out on the curb with the trash. That's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Bless you. That's
But Kryssie also already knows that if she ever needs me, I'm a phone call away though too. So
that's right. That's right. And I value that so much more than I can articulate.
Yep.
I think you know that.
I do. Yeah. Remembering the Goodwill incident, and there's been a couple other times I've been able to be there for you. So yeah.
Absolutely. I'd forgotten about the Goodwill incident.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She just needed somebody else to be there for a drop off. Nothing happened, but just to be able to be there to be a second set of hands just in case. So
it's kind of a good story. The short freeze-dried version of this story is that I had dated this bag of assholes for about 1.5 years, and we lived together. And when we broke up, I took as much as I could in the day that I left, but I still had a couple of things left at his place. And I kept trying to figure out a time for us to get together so I could get the rest of my things. And he blew me off for weeks and weeks and weeks. Finally, he set up a date for me to come pick up my things, but I couldn't go to his place to get them. He wanted to meet me in the parking lot at Goodwill. And he said that if I was a minute late, he would donate all of my stuff. So I called up a bunch of the boys that I know, and I made sure we showed up about a half hour early with a bunch of intimidating fellows. And thankfully, it was a very smooth, quick exchange, and then we all left. But yeah, that was a day that could have been a lot more stressful than it was. So I'm very fortunate to have.
What a dick. What a dick.
Yeah. That's all right. It's his loss.
Yeah, definitely
was. Yep.
And his contact photo in my phone is a toilet. So if he ever texts or calls me, I will know from far away who it is.
Right.
Yeah. Oh. I'm a child. It is what it is.
No, I love it. I do. I like a little bit of petty. There's nothing wrong with it. It's good fun in it.
That was actually one of my nicknames on Big Brother was Petty Betty. So.
Well, there you go. Got some more info. I've not even looked at these questions in ages. My phone's gone off. I could have been here. Charles, have you got them up? Do you want to take one?
I've got them up, and I guess for the most part we've kind of touched on them. Really,
I think we have.
I think kind of one of the best questions to really kind of wrap off on, I think, actually is this: what is the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Ooh.
Or to alter it then, what is the best piece of advice you feel you could give to someone? I mean, you've already given some absolute genius gems of don't alter who you are, be yourself, stand up for yourself. You've already said some phenomenal things along those lines throughout the video today. And hell, I'm not even in the music industry, and several pieces of that are still going to stick with me. And I've had the pleasure of having known you for so many years already. But what parting words of wisdom would you feel you would like to send out into the world?
Honestly, in my heart of hearts, the one thing that I've never kind of wavered from my entire life in terms of core beliefs, and I really would love to see more of in the rest of the world, is that you have to trust your gut. I have made a lot of really stupid fucking decisions over the course of my life, over the course of my 35 years on this earth. And I didn't listen to my gut a lot of times. And I feel like there's nothing worse in the world than regret. And if you know in the pit of your stomach that you need to do one thing and you do the other, you're going to be fucking miserable. And, you know, I joke around all the time when people tell me, oh my God, I want to be just like you. And I tell them, well, all I got to do is quit college to be a rock star. And then you too can live paycheck to paycheck, you know. But in all reality, my life was set up to be very different than it turned out. And I don't regret where I am at all because I finally started listening to my heart instead of what made sense on paper. It's very easy to get talked into doing things by your elders or your peers or what have you. And while I definitely advocate for taking wisdom from people who are older than you, because there's lots of shit that when you think you know everything, somebody who's done it before is like, no, no, no. And that kind of thing is worth its weight in gold. But the best parting words I could leave with anybody are just to trust your gut. Nobody knows you better than you know yourself. And as soon as you admit to yourself who you really are, that is really the only way that you can be successful or happy in any facet of your life. And it took me a long time to get to that point, and I still struggle with it. And I don't know if I'll ever fully overcome it, but where I'm at right now versus where I was at 5 years ago, I don't even know that person anymore. And I'm very happy where things have led themselves, even though this isn't where I thought I'd be right now. And that's really, in a nutshell, a very lengthy nutshell, what I would leave as parting words of wisdom is just listen to you. At the end of the day, you're all you fucking got.
I can see a lot of heads nodding.
I was going to ask one last question, but you already answered it. My one last question was going to be very, very simply, are you happy?
I am, yeah. I never in a gazillion years thought that A, I would be a homeowner, B, that I would be considering getting married. You know, being a musician leaves you in this position of this weird prolonged adolescence where you are constantly living for your project, and that doesn't necessarily leave you with the option to have a grown-up job or a stereotypical 9 to 5. And really being a musician and stability, don't get married, it's a trap. I need health insurance.
This coming from the guy who's been married for 3 years now. Yes.
Yeah. So cheeky.
I am madly in love with my boyfriend, and I would marry him tonight if we had our license already. He is everything. He's a wonderful father to our 3 cats, and he helps me take great care of this house that we bought together. And he's gorgeous, which helps.
Wow.
And you know, I hope that I bump mohawks with that boy for the rest of my life. We have, my favorite photo of the two of us is we both have our hawks up and we're leaning towards each other and they're touching, and it's so lame, but it's so cute. But yeah, no, I'm so unbelievably happy. And it took a really long time and a lot of wrong turns and a lot of kissing frogs and doing dumb things to only come back around to what I knew was right the whole time. And I wouldn't trade any of the dumb things that I've done for the wisdom that it's given me, but you know, hindsight's 2020.
Because it's gotten you to where you are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If I could go back and give myself some shortcuts and maybe do all of this in half the time, that would be fine. But you know, it's not necessarily the destination, it's the journey, and you
Yes.
know, and vice versa.
Mhm.
There's lots to be said for both. No. But no,
Cool.
I'm happy and I'm pumped to see where the next couple of years take me.
Me too
I
for
just
you
need
as
the
well.
pandemic to be over with because I want to play shows again. That's the only
Yeah.
I really want to get back on stage. But other than that, like I couldn't be in a better position right now.
Amen to
Oh.
both.
That's great. Thank you so much for doing this with us, Kryssie. It's an absolute honor to talk to you. You're such a sweetheart. And Charles said
likewise.
I'd really like you, so it's like,
Well, we're all gonna be best friends now after this. I will show up for any chats you guys want to do, and you know, whatever schedule permitting. My schedule changes every single week, but
Yep.
you know, this was super fun, and I'm kind of sad that it's kind of drawing to a close. So,
Yep.
well, actually, we usually hang around after, so you're welcome. Once it stopped recording, and then you can go batshit crazy.
that's fair. I got a little bit of time. I do need to do meal prep because that's what boring old people do. But that's I got some time.
You hang
Well,
for a little
we'll-
while. It's cool.
Yeah, we'll say goodbye for the video, and then let the fun begin.
Oh boy.
There we go.
Thank you so much.
So fun.
And I'll make sure I link everything in the description below.
Yep.
Cool.
Thanks, dear.
Thank you, babe.